A businessman has been charged with ordering the murder of investigative journalist Jan Kuciak, whose killing during a corruption probe triggered mass protests. Prosecutors in Slovakia said on Thursday they had charged Marian Kocner with the crime. Kuciak had been investigating Kocner's business activities at the time of his death, one of several stories he had been working on when he was gunned down with his fiancée Martina Kuznerova at home in February 2018. The reason for the murder was the journalistic work of the victim, a special prosecutor told reporters in Bratislava, who was left unnamed for security reasons. The prosecutor said Kocner, who has a number of property development and investment businesses, was charged on March 8 with ordering the murder. Kuciak's last explosive report, published posthumously and unrelated to Kocner, alleged ties between Slovak politicians and the Italian mafia. The murders and the journalists' investigation plunged the EU, member of 5.4 million people, into crisis, raising concerns about media freedom and corruption. Then Prime Minister Robert Fico was forced to resign but remains the leader of the ruling populist left SMERSD party and is a close ally of current Premier Peter Pellegrini. The latest move in the case comes days before the Eurozone members' presidential election. Last year, prosecutors charged 4 suspects in connection with the murders, including a woman identified as Alina Ziz. Local media reported that Alina Ziz had worked as an interpreter for Kocner, who is believed to have ties to members of SMERSD. Peter Barty, Kuciak's editor-in-chief at the Actuality.sk news website, claimed in September 2017 that Kocner had called Kuciak to threaten him. Kocner had vowed to set up a website publishing information on reporters' private lives, according to the leading SME daily. The 55-year-old multimillionaire, who owns more than a dozen companies, was detained by police in June on suspicion of fraud. He is still in custody. It is not excluded that further individuals will be accused of participating in the murder, the special prosecutor said on Thursday. The prosecutor added that, "We do not yet have the weapon, but we have evidence as to what kind of weapon it was." Slovakia ranked 27 out of 180 countries in the Reporters Without Borders (RSF) World Press Freedom Index 2018, falling 10 places in a year. The murder was one of several high-profile cases in 2018 in which journalists were murdered in response to their work. Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi was killed at the Saudi Arabian consulate in Istanbul in October by agents of the Saudi government. In June 2018, 5 people were killed in the newsroom of newspaper The Capital Gazette in Annapolis, Maryland in the U.S. when a man who had a history of conflict with the publication stormed in with a gun and began firing.